So if you've decided to start a YouTube channel and you're asking yourself the question, where am I going to find the time to do all this? Then hopefully this video is going to be for you. So just to give you some insight, I am in my 40s, I've got a full-time career, very demanding job, I've got 2 young children, and life is busy, and I have found ways to make time and also to be resourceful in how I use some of the time that I'm spending already. And I'm going to share those with you to hopefully help you find the time to do your YouTube and grow your channel. So the first thing I've looked at was how can I make more time available? How can I free up more time in my day? And the first thing I would do is, if you are a consumer of social media, is to go into your digital well-being within your settings on your smartphone and look at how much time you're spending on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, all these platforms, even YouTube to an extent, and see how much time you're spending. And you'll be surprised at how much time. And yeah, I'm not saying that, if it's 2 hours a day on these apps, I'm not saying that that's a 2-hour stretch, but it's maybe over the course of the day. However, that is still, all those little stints on these platforms add up, and the chances are they're probably making your other commitments take longer. So you're probably getting through less in the working day if you're constantly looking at your phone to check on Instagram. Your housework maybe takes longer because you're stopping every so often because you're getting notifications on your phone. So if you are spending 2 hours a day, and that's quite common on these platforms, then you have to ask yourself, what value am I really getting from that? How could that time be better spent? Because, yeah, sure, everyone likes a funny video. I'm no different. But, if you're losing 2 hours a day to these platforms and you have ambitions to grow a YouTube channel, then I would say that, that's the first place that you can start. So perhaps it's, being quite frank and saying, well, am I actually getting any real value from these? And if you're not, then perhaps try deleting them from your phone. If they're not there and you're not getting the notifications, then it's easier to just ignore. You'll be looking at your phone less, you'll be getting less distracted, which means you are, getting through more in your day. And then if you're getting through your commitments quicker, then you've got more time at the end of the day to actually do videos. Sorry, my dog's pulling on his lead, so that's why this is a bit wobbly. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are starting a new channel, and there's multiple benefits to this, is the second item on my list is to record on your phone. The great thing about recording on your phone is you can do it anywhere, at any time. So I'm recording this whilst walking my dog. I've just got it hooked up to a cheap tripod. It didn't cost me much money. I've got my microphone, which, to be fair, I did spend about £100 on that. And I did set up I bought lighting and all this kind of stuff for filming indoors and in like a sort of studio space that I've got. But I'm finding more and more that I'm reverting to these types of videos. And the reason for that is I can do it whilst walking the dog. So I'm out just going for a little countryside walk and I'm filming this video. So I'd be out walking Marlow anyway. So why not film at the same time? So it's making better use of the time that I'm spending anyway. I also find that in this natural setting, rather than in my little studio, I personally find anyway that I speak far better and I'm making less mistakes. So it cuts down on editing time as well. And also I use CapCut as my editing tool, which has a mobile app. So I don't have to waste time transferring the video from my phone to my laptop and uploading it in order to edit it. I can just edit it within the CapCut mobile app, and the editing is far less, as I say. I'm typically chopping off the beginning and the end, and that's it. So the editing's quicker. I'm not faffing about with a camera and SD cards and uploading to my computer. And once the video is actually edited in the CapCut app on my phone, it's then exported back to my phone to then upload to YouTube via my phone. So I can do everything from my phone. I'm not having to mess about too much. So it streamlines the process completely, and it's saving a huge amount of time. So if you're starting off and you know that in the early stages you maybe going to make mistakes, you're going to forget what to say and all this kind of stuff, then I think personally this is a good way to start. And it's also saving you money. Sure, you might buy a microphone. The tripod I've got is great, and it cost me £20. The microphone is £100, but I mean you can get cheaper than that, to be perfectly honest. And you've probably got a smartphone already. And I've talked about gear in previous videos. So there's multiple benefits to filming in this format. You're getting outdoors, maybe using time that you were already spending. If you do walk a dog, if you don't, you might go out for a walk anyway. But even if you don't, it encourages you to go for a walk. It encourages you to get outside and get fresh air, and that's great for your mental health. So there's multiple benefits to doing that, and it also saves a lot of time. The other way that we can save time is to batch record. So setting aside a window to say I'm going to record 4 videos in one go. And if we do that, then that means that we don't have to find that time. If you want to do 1 video a week in the beginning, if you can record 4 videos, you only have to find that time once a month to do that, as opposed to try to find that time every week. And then we can apply that to batch editing and batch uploading. You can upload videos one after the other. They don't have to be published straight away. So you might say, okay, I've got a quieter week this week. I'm going to record 4 videos. I'm going to edit them and upload them on 3 separate nights in that week. And then you've got 4 videos scheduled to go out, and that's you for the month. So batching is a great way, and it applies to anything. Batching activities definitely helps to save time, and YouTube is no different. The third way I think that is a really good time saver is to do live videos. And again, there's multiple benefits to doing lives other than just saving time. But the big thing with saving time is that once you record it with a live video, you typically don't edit it at all. It's just there. So even you don't have to have a big audience to do live videos. I did my first live with 79 subscribers, and I had 5 people join, and that was enough. There was out of that 5 people, it kept the conversation going. There was questions being asked, and we were chatting about stuff that was still going to offer people who found that video after the fact value. So I didn't have to edit that video. I just left it. You don't spend time uploading because it just happens automatically once you finish doing the live stream. And the other benefit to that, other than just the time it saves, is the fact that you are building a community. You're building that engagement and relationship with your audience as well. So there's real benefits to that, and YouTube really encourages that as well, because they like people to be engaged and stay on the platform for longer. Now you might think, oh well, but people typically go on lives for like an hour or 2 hours, so that's a lot of time. And yes, that's true, but if I think how long it takes me to create like a 10-minute video, if I was doing it in like my kind of little studio, like on my proper camera and all that kind of stuff, by the time I've actually set up, recorded, edited, uploaded it and published it, it probably takes me that kind of time anyway. And I've got a 10-minute video to show for it. If you do a 1 hour live stream, the bulk of your time is really just doing the actual live stream. And once it's done, it's there. And the great thing is that you've now got a 1 hour video to show for your time rather than a 10-minute video. And what that means is that if people stick around and watch that video for longer, then that is boosting your watch hours, which if you want to get monetized on YouTube, that's a great way to do it, because the longer the videos, the more people that find them, hopefully the longer they watch them for, and that's really boosting your watch hours. You need 4,000 watch hours in a calendar year, or in a 365-day window. So, you know, if you're trying to grow the channel and you're trying to get monetized, then that's a great help, because you've got longer videos. People say, you know, if you put in 10-minute videos out there, then that's fine, but obviously you need more 10-minute videos to get the watch hours, if that makes sense. So there's multiple benefits to doing lives as well. So if you were to do a live once a week, and if you were to do a kind of out and about on your smartphone video once a week, maybe whilst out going on a walk that you'd have been doing anyway, then you've got 2 videos a week with minimal effort. Or if you know, go out and use your phone and batch record 4 videos and, you know, batch edit them the next night, and as I say, hopefully with minimal editing required, you know, you could perhaps get your month's worth of videos, if you're doing once a week, out of a couple of evenings or a couple of days, you know, this without spending too much time on it. So, you know, if you're struggling for time to do YouTube, then these are the things that I think would benefit you a great deal in getting started, because often the hurdle seems like it's too hard to overcome, and it just paralyzes us and puts us off from starting. So, you know, try these things I've spoken about. Definitely start with looking at how much social media you're consuming. Consume less, create more. So hopefully you find that video useful. If you enjoyed it, maybe give it a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Steve, and I'm helping people like you grow on YouTube. If you want to get more tips like this, maybe consider subscribing to the channel as well. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.